Yep. All right, we are back. It is the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast. It's only a two-man team tonight. I am Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always on his worst behavior. I don't get hard, I stay hard. And catch me in your mama's DMs, Mr. DM. And then we got...
It's X-Man Damn. It's not a sham or a scam. It's the real X-Man Damn on Instagram. Follow me, fam.
Yep.
Mr. Off the Ladder with a weak bladder. Mr. Off the Turnbuckle with a bloody knuckle. Mr. $5 Phillip. Mr. Meal for two, but it's really for one. I'm Schmack Pie watching SmackDown. Can I use your WWE information and your Disney Plus information?
I don't got Disney Plus yet, but okay.
Mr. Razor Cabron. Mr. Pipe Punch Lieber Wife Drench. Mr. Show Me the Facts Man Damn. And how's my Ultra Heel fams?
Meow. How you living over there, Gnarly Marv? Let's talk Gnarly Marv today.
I'm doing okay. I'm just super mondo excited to be with the Ultra Heels tonight.
Are you cuddled up with your bottle yet, sir?
Yeah, I'm like breastfeeding it.
What you got over there?
Coquito that Darth hand delivered. Not people don't usually hand deliver. They usually get like Amazon and bring it through. Darth came through with the gift bag. With Reese's pretzels, that's chocolate peanut butter pretzels, and a nice golden bag.
Yeah, shout out to my homegirl from work.
Yeah,
she hooked it up.
Tell her I love her. She's the best.
She's alright.
She's cool.
Yeah, she's cool peoples.
Did she come to your going away party at the pool hall?
No.
Oh, okay. So she's alright then.
Wait. My going away party, she was there.
Oh, she
was there?
Yeah, she was the one that was trying to make us go to a different bar.
Oh, weren't they trying to get us to go to like a Spanish club or something?
Yeah.
And
she was like really reaching.
I was like, that's not our scene, you know. We'd have been there. Yeah. Darth would have been fine.
I was late because I worked that night.
Darth would have been fine dancing salsa, but we would have been out of place.
Oh no! I love me some salsa, some bachata.
I know. We know.
I just didn't want to go anywhere. I don't want to spend no more money.
Merengue is not my thing. It's a weird tempo.
Merengue is, correct me if I'm wrong, kind of slow or.
By my memory, yes.
Okay.
So how was your week, Darth?
Because, I used to love watching Sabio Giante.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I learned.
He's the progenitor of podcasting. Nah, not really.
What did you say, X-Man?
He's the Spanish Howard Stern.
El Sabio Gigante.
Yeah, that used to be lit. That used to be lit.
And the guy dressed up as fucking... What is that guy? The fucking...
There was a Grim Reaper, right?
Yeah, there was.
The Reaper, yeah.
Yeah. But he was really friendly to be like the angel of death. But that's how Spanish people think of death. It's like cool.
You know what else I watch? Doce Corazones.
Oh, that's outside of my
It's a dating show.
Doce?
Yeah. How do you say 12? Doce, right?
Yeah, it's Doce.
Yeah, 12 hearts. Doce Corazones.
A dozen hearts.
Oh, mi corazón.
Yeah.
What, is it like one girl dating 12 guys? Or 12 girls dating one guy?
Yeah, because it's like Zodiac based. It's like the one person, and then there's like one person from every Zodiac sign, and you gotta like narrow it down to who you want to date or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting show for, me only knowing like, a fourth of what they're actually saying.
Yeah, I mean.
Is it better than Temptation Island? First season?
Yes. Anything's better than Temptation Island. I don't want to watch Romeo.
Fell asleep on that shit a couple times, man.
Well, it's better than Rock of Love.
Rocks of Love.
That was with what's his name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell? No.
Yeah.
A reality TV show. It had I forgot who it had. It had some guy with a bandana with long hair. He was like an 80s rock star.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not Brett Michaels.
But it was Brett Michaels.
It was Brett Michaels?
It was Brett Michaels.
No. It was Dave Matthews. What are you talking about?
He was probably season 2. And I know they brought out Flavor Flav for one season. They Hip Hop of Love or what do they changed the name, right?
Oh, Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love. Yes, they changed the name for Flavor of Love.
He picked the Ugliest one the first season.
It was a political move.
That show was disgusting.
It was a political move.
And then the second season, the chick ended up dating Shaq after, because that was when Shaq got divorced.
Jesus.
So she left Flavor Flav for Shaq, and then Flavor Flav ended up dating Bridget Nielsen when he was on that other show.
Jesus.
That was nasty.
Oh, what was that show called? Surreal Life?
Yeah, Surreal Life.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
That was nasty. And then you had Ron Jeremy on that season too.
Yes, you did. China was on there one season.
Oh, that was the same one.
Yes, China was there.
The same one.
That was the best season. China was there. Mini Me.
Oh yeah, Mini.
Oh, I remember that shit.
China, Mini Me, Flavor Flav, somebody from the Brady Bunch.
I think it was Greg.
Yeah, it was Greg.
Yeah.
That was the season everybody watched.
This is like 2007 shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old. Thanks, X-Men.
And speaking of China, the eighth wonder of the world, Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette has been canceled by the internet.
Culture is canceled.
So, Jim Cornette, longtime wrestling personality, 80s, 90s, 2000s. He's been with WWE. He's been with WCW. He's been with TNA. He's been with ROH.
Heavy.
He's been everywhere. He's done everything. He's also a very polarizing figure for the things that he says. This past week on NWA Power,
Oh no.
he said, in regards to Trevor Murdoch, on commentary, he said, he's the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken to his back and ride a motor scooter across Ethiopia.
Wow.
Now, this is the first time he said it. He used the same anecdote in WWF, and I forgot the year, like 1996.
In relation to what wrestler?
That I forgot. I forgot the whole story, but he used the same anecdote before. But it's 2019. Everybody's extra sensitive. We have cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
So he resigned.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dark, but you never liked this guy.
No, I love Jim Cornette.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I like him. I like Jim Cornette.
Maybe I'm thinking of Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah,
Jim Cornette is hilarious, even though he says some outrageous things.
Well, he kept.
That's what makes him
going off the
hilarious.
deep end, right? He kept Vince from going too far in the Attitude Era.
Vince Russo. He kept Vince Russo from going too far.
Exactly.
Because they were complete opposite
They were
personalities.
yin yangs that kept a balance.
Yeah. So, because I think Jim Cornette is misunderstood because he's so firm in his beliefs. It's like for example, everybody thinks he's anti AEW. He's actually not anti AEW. There's just certain people he doesn't like. Like he loves Jericho. He loves MJF. He loves Hangman Page. He loves Cody. What he doesn't like is he doesn't like Riho, the 98-pound women's champion who beat the 250-pound man-woman Nyla Rose. He doesn't like Kenny Omega because he does artistic wrestling and points before he does everything. He doesn't like the Young Bucks because they don't sell anything.
He doesn't like Joey Janela because he's a fuckboy.
He doesn't like Joey Janela because he looks like a fucking schlub.
He's the definition of traditional wrestling, critique, right?
Yeah, but again, if you do wrestling correctly, he's fine with it. I'm trying to think, what match did he like? Like he likes SCU. SCU can do some lucha stuff, but he likes SCU because they do it correctly. They sell, they pace it out.
Gotcha.
Everything's not just go, 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 go.
Oh, and God forbid if you fuck up a hot tag, Jim Cornette's gonna rip your asshole.
That's because he's a tag team specialist.
Yeah.
So he understands tag team wrestling. So and blind tags, do not do a slap on the back. He hates that.
Yeah. Well, Jim Cornette is just straight up pro wrestling. He likes the realist and the storytelling, the good shit. That's why he does a great job with NWA.
Yes. That's why I thought he was a perfect fit for what they were doing.
I hope to God he is not literally thinking about resigning for good, because that's what makes NWA really good is Jim Cornette.
He's done.
To be honest.
He's done.
Well, who's going to fill that spot?
I think they have 2 or 3 episodes left already recorded with him on them. And then for the next set of tapings that start, I believe, next week, they have to get another commentator.
Wow.
It's kind of weird because the racial slur happened this week, right?
It wasn't even a racial slur. It was a joke.
Racial.
Because just think how like preposterous this statement was. He's the only man I've ever known that can strap a bucket of fried chicken to his back. That alone, who says something like that? That's just funny.
Yeah, it's good.
It's cringy funny, right? It's like, what?
I get it. He's an old white guy. He shouldn't be talking about Ethiopian fried chicken. I get it. But it's not that bad.
Now, it would have been a difference if the guy was of color.
Yeah, like, what if
if
Booker T said it? It would have been the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
But because he's an old white guy, it's racist. But not knowing Jim Cornette's history, because people don't like to look back at history, all the black superstars he's pushed in when he was booking for WCW, or when he was running Smoky Mountain Wrestling, or when he was booking for Ring of Honor, or when he was booking for TNA. He has no problem with black people or black superstars. It's just a joke that came from an old white guy, so now everybody has a problem.
I don't know. I think it's depressing.
It's sad and it's
not going to be on NWA anymore.
It hurts wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
Since he is still one of the, I guess, hearts of traditional wrestling.
Like, he loves the Revival because the Revival does tag team wrestling correctly. They do hand-to-hand tags. They do proper hot tags. They get heat on the baby face. You know,
they sell like a motherfucker. They have actual tag team moves, not just, let's do a double suplex. They did great this week as well.
Yes, they did. Who did they face? What was it? Undisputed Era?
The Undisputed Era.
Yeah. What else was I going to say?
One last thing about Cornette. I only know of him from documentaries.
Right.
And whenever you hear him speak on any of these documentaries about wrestling, especially the Montreal Screwjob, you hear the passion in him. Even to this day, even like watching all of this shit, it's like the guy loves what he does.
Yes,
he loves wrestling.
Yes, he does.
So it's a great loss for wrestling in general.
When it comes to announcing, Jim Cornette hasn't skipped a beat at all. Like, if you go back to tapes back in the day of him announcing or whatever, it's just the same old stig. Like he hasn't created any rust in his vocab. So
nope. You were speaking, Marv. You were speaking about Jim Cornette and the Montreal Screwjob. Do you know he's the one that came up with the idea for the Montreal Screwjob?
Yes. I also know that Brett was actually in on it, but he asked Hebner to not pin him. So what happened was that Hebner got the call to pin no matter what, and he had to do it. Right? You kind of got the story. Brett knew that something was going down. Okay.
He just didn't know what exactly. So he was telling Hebner, don't let this go off the rails. But Vince McMahon went and changed the actual finish with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Vince were the only one that actually knew the moment that the match was going to end.
Yeah.
And let's probably like Triple H, or excuse me, Hunter Hearst Helmsley at the time.
Yeah.
It was a very small group of people that knew. Like people backstage didn't even know.
I heard that Earl Hebner just like flew out the ring, got in his car.
Oh yeah. Earl Hebner. If you go back and watch that video, as soon as he rings the bell,
he's gone.
And you see Bret Hart get up. Like when Bret Hart is spitting on Vince, Earl Hebner's already in the back, and that's like 10 seconds later.
That's the funniest thing ever. Shout out to rap. Shout out to wrestling history, man. So many good moments.
Yeah,
that was good.
Oh, you know what else Jim Cornette invented? Hell in a Cell.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
He invented Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Because he took the original War Games cage had a roof on it. He took that idea, and from the time he spent in Texas doing in WCCW, the promotion owned by the Von Erichs, they had a cage that surrounded the complete ringside. It was an open top cage, but you could fight ringside outside of the ring. So he put outside of the ring cage, Cage with a top, put that together, and he invented Hell in a Cell. He didn't come up with a name, but he invented the concept of the match.
Course. He's not going to be long without a job.
No, that's just it. He doesn't want a job anymore, but people keep offering him stuff, like the NWA job. He didn't want it. They came to him. He didn't go out seeking, oh, can I come do commentary? If we're like, hey, we have this thing going on. You're the perfect fit. You're the perfect voice. Do you want to come work for us? Like, how about when he went back to ROH the second time? He didn't want a job. They came looking for him.
He's probably got royalties up the ass. He doesn't have to worry.
And his merchandise shop that he personally packs every package in his garage.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I believe he said if you're looking for a Christmas gift for someone, your order better be in by December 10th. Otherwise, you ain't getting shit. Now, I didn't watch today's podcast. I'm pretty sure on today's podcast that released, he covered this event because they filmed Thursday night. So, but I didn't. Again, I was at work. I didn't see today's podcast. So I'm sure he covered this event, and we'll have some information about it next week. But
Are we gonna get into a little bit of SmackDown from last week?
Yeah, if I can find a freaking tab. I've got too many tabs open.
He's not kidding. I'm looking at his phone.
Yeah.
A million tabs open.
Well, before we get into it, I just want to talk about the change of the Universal Championship from red to blue.
That, I knew it was coming, but it's just so stupid. It's so stupid.
I don't know, man.
Not to mention, if you look at it next to the Tag Team Championship, it's a different shade of blue.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's more like a purplish blue.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the new colors of the SmackDown they got.
Well, like it is a slightly different shade of blue.
I mean, I don't know. They had a chance to change that shit, and they fucked it up again.
Again, when they introduced Universal Championship, they should have just took like a spin on the big gold belt. Yeah. Because that's what everybody wanted in the first place. So give us a, big gold belt, but the giant WWE logo on it. If that's what they wanted, because obviously that's the belt they wanted, was the giant WWE logo. But make it look like something from the big gold belt. Give the fans what they want.
What'd you think about that guy that came out as Roman Reigns in that damn dog suit? that shit show.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about WWE Backstage with Mr. Chick Magnet Phil.
Go ahead.
They were like, because they were asking him to like grade certain things that WWE's been doing. He gave that segment an F+.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was a shit show though.
I
give him credit for remixing Roman Reigns' entrance.
But it's like, first of all, every time they get something good with Baron Corbin, they give him a good accolade, then they turn him into a joke.
Yeah, they fuck it up. Like
when they let him win the Money in the Bank, then they had him lose. They gave him what was the other thing they gave him before King of the Ring? The whole Constable thing. He had so much heat coming off the Constable thing. They didn't capitalize on it. He had so much legitimate heat. Everybody hated Baron Corbin for the right reasons. They booked him perfectly for people to hate him, and they killed his heat. But by the time you got to the King of the Ring tournament, he was just another crybaby heel.
I got a SmackDown recap list if you want me to go through it.
I just found it.
Okay.
All right. So that was the opening segment, though. The whole Roman Reigns dog bull crap,
which led into Mustafa Ali, Shorty G taking on Dolph Ziggler and
excuse me, sir. Rude. Get it right. It's Rudolph.
All right. Rudolph. The tag team of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Credit to Adam Cleary on What Culture, I think.
Adam Pacitti. I think that was the only good match of the night, if you ask me.
Really? I think I was still driving home when that happened. I don't remember seeing it.
I mean, SmackDown's kind of lackluster, if you ask me, but I don't know.
And then we had Braun Strowman and the B Team and Drew Gulak. I don't really remember what happened there. I know I was home by then, but I don't remember what really happened with that. It wasn't important because, again, they're not doing anything with Strowman since he moved to SmackDown.
It was just a squash match.
All right. Then we had the rematch between the New Day and the Revival.
Which I was surprised that they did a rematch, even though they say they weren't doing rematches anymore for titles.
It's WWE. Rules change minute to minute.
Shout out to George F on the chat.
What up, George? Mr. Jorge.
Then we had
Mr.
Heavy
Money Piece
Machinery defeating some local talent. I don't know how long Heavy Machinery is going to be having squash matches, but
Or the War Raiders. They're still having squash matches too.
both of them, they're in the same boat. Might as well just have a rivalry with them two.
And actually, I don't want to see them together for a while. That for me, that'd be like a Mania match. That needs to be like opening Mania match. You know, just two hype tag teams is going at it to open Mania.
Yeah, Bailey versus Nikki Cross.
Which ended in a brawl. Like almost everything for the last week has just ended in a brawl.
That's why it's so hard to recap. It's just so many.
And that's why I didn't like NXT this week, because everything was just a brawl.
I mean, it was okay. It was kind of nice to see that the past NXT stars coming back to NXT.
Yeah, that was the only thing. It was like, yeah, it's all the the NXT alumni, but it was just a brawl. Everything was a brawl.
How is Bailey's? I'm sorry. How is Bailey's heel run going so far?
I like it. X-Man Dem it says he's given up on Bailey. I like Bailey. I love it.
Jay Leno? Jay Leno with a pen?
The Crimson Chin.
The Crimson Chin.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That should be her new fucking... The chin shot.
Did you hear? There's some theory online about why Bailey doesn't wear the title around her waist. Did you hear this?
She has no waist, right?
No, she's got cake.
She does?
She's got cake.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm willing to look past the chin, because of that cake. But anyway,
she's got a wet diaper.
you know how her top Bailey is spelled on two lines. It's B-A-Y, then L-E-Y on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So you have A in the middle on top. You have E in the middle on the bottom. So if she wears the belt, then you have a W, which is AEW.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. It's a theory. It's a theory that's been on like Twitter for like the last couple days.
Nah, I think it's because she's a heel. She has to look like she doesn't care about the belt.
There's got to be a picture somewhere.
No, since she's started with the new gear, she has not worn the title around her waist.
Give me a sec. Let me look at this picture.
So then that match turned into an 8-woman tag match. We had Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, and Carmella, and Dana Brooke, the hardest working woman in WWE right now, take on Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, Tegan Nox, and Dakota Kai, which is basically a preview to Survivor Series.
We still got you there, X-Man, Dan? I think we lost the X-Man.
X-Man, damn.
He's frozen in space.
He's so cute.
Yeah, look at that pose. That's like graduation picture X-Man Dan right there.
We should save that for his untimely demise as well, when you have to make an obituary.
That's the picture we put on the cards.
Yeah, that's it right there.
What happened to him? Let me call him back.
All right.
Calling back the X-Man.
Oh, his power went out.
Oh, wow.
That's wild.
Country living is hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so hit me with the next one then, Darth.
So yeah, that was basically we had a preview of Survivor Series with those 8 women there. Moving on. Then we had a Firefly Funhouse appearance where Bray Wyatt introduced the new blue title that we were just talking about. Again, it's the weirdest shade of blue because it does not match the tag titles, but I guess it matches the new logo like we were talking about.
It's a new logo, new shade of blue. I could have sworn it was just a different font.
Yeah, it's different. It's also a slightly different shade of blue as compared to SmackDown Live blue.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was a Miz TV / Firefly Funhouse episode. And Daniel Bryan was just talking about, his, trying, going back at the Fiend to gain the title. Typical, banter between all three of them, hitting their gimmicks. And if I do this right, I can jump over to Raw.
Here we go.
He's back up?
No.
Oh.
But I was told by George F. that that's going to be X-Man Dam's new Tinder profile picture.
Well, no, X-Man Dam is taken now. He doesn't need a...
That's true.
He has a lovely lady on his arm.
Yes, this is true. Sorry, viewers.
Leading off Raw, we had Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair defeat the Iconic, which we haven't seen the Iconics in a couple weeks, probably a couple months. Really, I don't think they've been on TV since they lost the tag titles. They've barely been on TV. But again, this match, post match, it was just another brawl because you had Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and I can never pronounce this girl's name. Jess Marin Duke, the horsewoman of NXT.
Jesus.
Yeah, they came into attack. Then probably the match of the night, which low key I didn't think would be any good. We had Humberto Carrillo defeat Carl Anderson. Of course, there was back and forth interference with the OC, AJ Styles and Luke Gallows trying to help Anderson. But it was actually a really decent match. Anderson sold the hell out of that match for Humberto.
Trying to catch up. We're still on SmackDown, correct?
No, we're on Raw now, sir.
Oh, okay.
We're on Raw. Hey, what up, Malcolm?
We got Malcolm Carter in the house.
And then we move on to my favorite segment, Bobby Lashley and Lana.
When is this gonna end, bro?
It better not. It can't end. It's the story that never ends.
But it should. It should.
It's the best going joke at the moment. Because everybody realizes it's a complete crock of shit. Because they're married.
Exactly. That's what's heartbreaking about it. This is typical Vince at his worst.
No. Here's the thing. This was all Rusev's idea.
Oh God! So he must want free time.
He pitched the idea to Paul Heyman for this story.
Do you think she's overwhelming, and he's like, let me get some free time away from her? Because she has a modeling career. You would think she has things to do, but
yeah, that's the thing. She's probably barely home with him anyway.
So why put together a storyline where she has to cheat on him?
He probably just wanted to get back on TV.
Oh, you know what? That is a good push.
Because if they won't release him, and I'm sure he'd rather be in some dumb storyline to be on TV rather than just do nothing.
You have a point there. You have a point. And where do you foresee this going? Where could they end this storyline at?
Well, allegedly, what was it? It was either this week or last week. No, it was this week. She went to her lawyer to get divorce papers drawn up. So they're fake getting divorced now. And anytime you go on her Instagram or her Twitter, she's with Bobby Lashley at some restaurant. Which
Jeez.
I'm sure they took probably 15 pictures in one day at 15 different restaurants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that way they just have all the stuff that they need to play this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I seriously doubt that he's traveling. No, actually, they do travel from show to show together to make it look real. But, you know, from like, because since they're on Raw, probably from like Wednesday to Saturday, they're not actually together.
Jeez.
But I like it. It's stupid and it's funny. I like it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Moving on, we had Seth Rollins versus Andrade. Again, another solid match. They had some good chemistry. Surprisingly, they had good chemistry. I don't recall them having a match before, but the match ended in disqualification when I guess I would call it a heel Lucha House Party came out because they just randomly attacked Andrade in the middle of the match. It was a little Mexican on Mexican violence.
Lana boo, said X-Man damn.
Nah, come on, man. Come on. But then again, the Lucha House Party's on SmackDown. They wore their SmackDown t-shirts, so it was just, you know, yet another brawl. But I wouldn't be mad if it was a heel turn for Lucha House Party because they need something. Like they're not treated seriously. They are jokes, but give them something. Give them something. Moving on. Another solid match. I forgot that we had this many solid matches on Raw this week. Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Not much of a story here. Just a solid match. And then we had Eric Rowan versus a jobber. And I believe there were some 24/7 championship shenanigans going on during this also. R-Truth chasing around the Singh brothers. I think the 24/7 championship is dead.
Jeez.
Quite honestly.
I mean, it should be. I mean, there's no point to it anymore.
But that's just it. It's supposed to be a joke, but they've gone too far with the same joke, which is R-Truth, and on the side Drake Maverick. Take another, group of 3 people and let them just do whatever. Because how many times are you going to do the same thing where R-Truth just, stupidly outsmarts somebody, the person he's chasing to get the title back? You can't do the same thing over and over and over, which is what WWE likes to do. But because when they first came up with it, it was so refreshing. It was actually the hottest thing going when they first introduced it back in, what was it, May?
Oh, wait, we got the wrong screen on. Hold on. There you go.
There we go.
We're back.
Okay. It was the hottest thing going when they introduced the 24/7 championship back in May. Surprisingly enough, because I was like, oh, it's a fake hardcore title. It's not going to be anything special. But once you had R-Truth with all his gimmicks, pinning people on a plane, pinning people on a golf course, pinning people on Fox Sports, the college football pre-show or whatever. It was just totally random places he'd show up to get the title back from people, or he'd hide in a equipment case, and then, or if it was actually in the ring, he'd have Carmelo helping him, and then Carmelo would hop on his back and he'd take off running. It was, really good shenanigans.
Shout out to Front Desk. He says, when I grow up, I want to become an announcer's desk. Those are goals. Those are goals right there. We'll help you achieve those goals, Front Desk.
Actually, if I was a desk, I'd want to be the president's desk. Because that was where Monica Lewinsky blew the bagpipes and blew flat.
Yeah, I was going to say there's some sexual content there.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, you want to be a desk that's not really sat on if you were a desk.
Yeah, that is true. You don't want to get, I
don't know.
Some seminal fluid, possibly.
Yeah, and look, Front Desk says, nah, the president be farting. That's true. That's true. I think I know who Front Desk is. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching, bro. Welcome back.
The next segment was Triple H trying to recruit Kevin Owens back to NXT to join the NXT team for Survivor Series. It was a really Triple H has been knocking it out the park with promos lately. Even that one he did a couple weeks ago about NXT is my army, my family. As stupid as it was, he nailed that promo. I mean, of course, I guess he's a living legend, if you want to call him that. Of course. But he delivers, even when it's a bad promo, he delivers it with such conviction that you want to believe what he's saying.
Triple H, has he ever had a bad promo at all? I don't think so.
I would say if you go back to maybe like 2012, 2013, the last DX run, those were some bad promos.
Oh, but that was all fan service. I don't think DX came back for anything else other than fan service.
Yeah, but
so
because you got two people in there, they're late 30s, early 40s, still trying to act like 21-year-olds.
Too old, yeah.
Yeah, that was really bad.
That rebellious attitude doesn't work on old people.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That doesn't work.
So yeah, it just wasn't the same for them trying to do DX like that.
Of course.
And of course, we had some NXT interference during that segment. The Undisputed Era showed up, and then Drew McIntyre came out to help defend Raw, and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has agreed to a no-holds-barred match against the Beast, Brock Lesnar, this Sunday.
I have bad opinions about this.
Okay.
I don't see how it could work at all in any physical form.
Well, he's not going to win, let's be real.
I hope not. I hope not. But just in general, having such a small guy fight such a big guy, and Rey Mysterio can't play the underdog card because he's a good wrestler. So I don't know. This is not like a match that you can be excited for in any way. Also the build up to it isn't enough. Yeah,
it's not enough where Brock is just beating him to a pulp week in and week out and week in and week out. It's just at this point, Rey Mysterio's just fighting for his dignity. It's just, he beat him up a couple times. He beat up his son. He beat up his cousin. And let's have a match.
It's just comical on top.
And just because I beat everybody up, I'm going to give you a match for the title. They didn't really, promote it the right way, but we get it's a classic wrestling angle. It's David versus Goliath, the big man and the little man. The little man's gonna find a way to nick and claw at the bigger guy. He'll look like he's gonna do something, but he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because I do believe years ago Ray beat the Big Show for the title one time. So that was like his crowning moment when he won the title.
But that's a more interesting match in general, almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of see it as a giant, humongous guy. Wow. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is bigger than Rey Mysterio, but not Jurassic levels like Big Show. I don't know.
Yeah. But then again, you also have the professional fighter aspect of Brock Lesnar.
That's true.
Because, a guy that's 6'3", 280, and he's a professional fighter.
And a killing machine, essentially.
Yeah, basically a killing machine.
I guess so. Yeah.
Because Rey Mysterio was probably, 5'4", $180?
Yeah.
If $180?
Small guy.
160, 150?
Very small guy.
His 17-year-old son is bigger than him. He's like 5'10", probably 200. Yeah. Then we had our main event. Oh no, sorry, I skipped something. We had a women's tag team match. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a tag team match. It was Asuka, our women's tag team champion, defeating Natalya. I think I was starting to fall asleep at this point. Again, even though there were 3 solid matches back to back in this show, I was just tired that night. But then our main event, we had Randy Orton and Ricochet.
Yeah.
The two people that love to hate each other right now take on the tag team champions Viking Raiders, and again it just turned into a brawl. We had SmackDown people, we had NXT people, and everybody just brawled.
Well, this is what X-Men Dan was saying. Everything is just ending in a giant brawl, and it's kind of getting boring.
I obviously, yes, we're pushing for Survivor Series, brand loyalty, yada, yada, yada. But you can't end every match and every episode the same way. There's got to be some sort of variety. Some sort of variety. And let's hop over to NXT. We had Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley in the opening match. And what do we have at the end of this match? A brawl. The horsewomen. The NXT horsewomen came out. We had Shayna Baszler, Jasmine Duke, and Maria Shafir interfere in the match. And moving on, we had Matt Riddle versus Ricochet. I didn't see this coming, but that was a great pairing, Matt Riddle and Ricochet. Two drastically different styles that paired well. Just the strikes and knees and elbows and slams from Matt Riddle versus just Ricochet ping-ponging himself all over the ring. But how did this match end? In a brawl. We had Shinsuke, we had Cesaro, we had Roderick Strong, we had Finn Balor. Yeah, another brawl. Then probably for me, I think this was the match of the night. It was no, I take that back. The main event was the match of the night, but this was another good one. We had the tag team champion Undisputed Era versus the Revival. The Revival again, back when we were talking about Jim Cornette. Mm-hmm. The Revival just know how to do tag team wrestling. They pair well with anybody. They pair well with any style. Even though the Undisputed Era isn't, overly too much of anything, they're also a very, solid tag team. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. It was a very nice pairing between the two. It was tag team wrestling done right. Moving on, we had NXT UK Women's Champion Kaylee Ray defeat Dakota Kai. And what happened here? Half of a brawl. We had Nikki Cross come out.
Shout out to Eugene Evans, who says Undisputed Era is an underrated tag team, in my honest opinion.
Yes and no. Underrated in terms of how well they execute matches, yes, but not overrated in terms of notoriety, popularity, because they've been on top for like the last year and a half. If you really think about it, they might not have had the titles the whole time, but they've been in the title picture. They've been in important matches for the last year and a half, basically. So I like I said, yes and no in terms of being underrated.
Make sure you sub, Eugene. Become an ultra, hell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we had the Viking Raiders versus the Forgotten Sons, which to me was pretty much a burial of the Forgotten Sons. I don't see the Forgotten Sons going anywhere. I don't see them getting a NXT title picture. I think they're just enhancement talent, as some people like to call them. I'm not going to call them jobbers. I'm going to just say enhancement talent. And then our main event, we had Adam Cole defeat Dominik Dijakovic in a ladder match to gain advantage in the War Games match this Saturday night. Now, they didn't do anything, spectacularly daring in this match. It was pretty standard ladder spots, but it looked good. The finish was Adam Cole kicking. They had the ladder in the middle of the ring. There was another ladder bridged from that ladder to the turnbuckle. They were fighting on top of the ladder. Adam Cole kicks him off the ladder. He goes through the ladder, and Adam Cole reaches up, grabs the briefcase, and that was the end of the match. But, how did this match end after that? There was a brawl. We had Drew McIntyre. We had Keith Lee. We had Mr. Burn It Down, Seth Rollins from Monday Night Raw. He came out to, look Adam Cole face to face, two men who I believe have never met in ROH, but two ROH alumni, two big faces in ROH from their time there. There was also Keith Lee. There was Tommaso Ciampa, who also came out to Seth Rollins face to face. And now we will jump over to AEW Dynamite. Now, before we go there, let me just hop over to Instagram real quick. For those of you that don't follow us, it is Ultra Heelz Wrestling on Instagram. That's Ultra Heelz with a Z. Ultra Heelz Wrestling.
Ultra Heelz.
This week, the ratings in the Wednesday Night Wars. Now, us personally here at Ultra Heelz Wrestling, we've been counting every week that NXT has been on the air. NXT was on the air 2 weeks prior to Dynamite starting. So, obviously, they won those 2 weeks because there was no competition. So, that's, 2 free wins. And then for the next 7 weeks, AEW has beaten NXT every week in the ratings until now. This week, NXT on USA had average 916,000 viewers.
Ooh.
Whereas AEW averaged 893,000 viewers. Difference of approximately 30,000 viewers.
What do you think changed?
The fact that the entire WWE roster was on NXT this week.
This is true.
That's the one advantage that NXT has. At any given moment, you can have Seth Rollins, you can have Becky Lynch, you can have who else has been there? Kevin Owens. You can have the War Raiders. You can have Shinsuke Nakamura. You can have anybody you want under the WWE umbrella on that episode. Whereas AEW's your biggest star is Chris Jericho, who's a pretty big star, but he's already a full-time guy. It's not like he's a feature attraction. You don't have any feature attraction in AEW.
Darth, I think Malcolm is checking you out. You were kind of flexing a little bit when you were saying that speech. Shout out to Eugene Evans, who says, Ultra Heelz, what up?
What up?
Make sure you sub, my dude. Become an Ultra Heel for life.
Yeah, so this is the first week NXT has taken over the lead in the ratings war. And I'm also looking at a very, very beautiful picture of Scarlett Bordeaux. Yes, that is very nice. Anyway, back to the show. Our opening match was Nick Jackson versus Rey Fenix. Now, like Mr. Cornette, I'm against the no-selling style of wrestling, which is what both of these guys do. But putting that aside, this was a great match. It just going and going and going, and the stuff that they pulled out and the counters. I don't know how many times Rey Fenix, there was like a roll through into an RKO that he hit Nick Jackson with. And I believe that was also the finish to the match. Also was a roll through counter to an RKO. Our next match. Oh, you know how I hate AEW women's wrestling?
Yes.
They got me this week.
Ooh.
This was a good match. Britt Baker and Shida.
Hikaru Shida.
Yes, this was a good one. Two women that actually know how to wrestle. Two people with, some sort of substance to their character. I appreciated what they did. However, the wrong person won the match. Why did Britt Baker lose? You're strong, probably the strongest woman on your roster, lost to somebody that the win doesn't help her in any way. I don't think, because I don't see her, title match anytime soon.
Oh, shout out to Eugene Evans. My bad for interrupting you, but it's Wade from the Big Hex and Wade Ventures podcast.
Oh, what up? What up? What up? What up?
Shout out to them. Make sure you sub to them. Part of the Podcast Bravery family. Shout out to them.
What's up? What's up? Oh, did X-Man Dam's lights come back on?
I think he's on his phone.
Oh, okay.
What, you can Skype call on your phone, X-Man Dam, if you didn't know.
He probably doesn't have the app on his phone though.
Very true.
But yeah, I don't see why Britt Baker lost that match. She did not need to. I don't know. Then we had the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. I didn't like it. I don't like any of the Battle Royals that they do. Because basically, you had 12 people in the ring, but everything stopped for one spot at a time. I know that's what Battle Royals tend to be.
Yep.
But it literally, everybody else just sat down in a corner and watched what was going on in the center between those 2 or 3 people at that moment. I don't know. It just, to me, it looked like they're I don't know how to explain it. It was just bad. It was bad. I don't know how else to say it. But the two last people in the match are going to have a singles match for a ring, I believe it is, a diamond ring. I don't know what the diamond ring signifies. I don't know if it gives you a title match or anything. I don't think they got that far into the booking yet. But in this match, we had Sonny Kiss, who we've seen a couple times in the local shows in the New York, New Jersey area. And we had Billy Gunn, we had Jimmy Havoc, we had Marco Stunt, MJF, Adam Page, and the last 2 people who I mentioned, MJF and Adam Page, were the co-winners, I guess you would call it. Which is another weird thing about this match. How do you have co-winners in a match?
Oh, well, X-Man Dam says Billy Gunn was awesome.
Oh yeah, he was. He made the match. If it wasn't for him, it would have been a real snooze fest for me without him. Again, because I already didn't like the concept. I don't like how they booked it. But if it wasn't for him, it would have been a real snoozer. But yeah, how do you have co-winners in a match where it's every man for themselves? You have 2 winners in the same match. Weird. Just a little weird. What you eating back there, sir?
Oh man, you can hear me chewing? Gotta mute my mic.
And then we
had
had
some Pringles.
Oh. Then we had Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and his muscle, Jake Hager, come to the ring to make a big announcement. But they were interrupted by SCU and Scorpio Sky. But he was going to announce his Thanksgiving thank you celebration for Le Champion. And once SCU came out, Scorpio Sky was going back and forth with Jericho. He was saying, I pinned you, but I'm not that good. I'm not as good as you. I don't deserve a title match. And then Jericho was saying, you know what? You did pin me. I want to beat you. And you do deserve a title match. So basically it was a whole, okey doke. I don't want something, but the other guys, I'm gonna give it to anyway. It was a nice exchange between those two. Nice to see Scorpio Sky hold his own on the mic against such a strong voice like Chris Jericho. But prior to that part, there was a little segment where Jericho was trying to apologize for something. I forgot what he was apologizing for, but he kept refusing to say the word sorry. He was like, I just want to say that I'm so. I want to say that I'm so. And then instead of saying sorry, he'd hold the mic to Jake Hager, and Jake Hager would just say, sorry. I wanted you to say that I'm sorry. It was.
X-Man Dam says he loves Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, he's pretty lit. He's pretty lit. And then Inner Circle came out and just jumped SCU. So we had a brawl here too, but this was a warranted brawl. Then we had the Librarian Peter Avalon versus Luchasaurus, which was basically a squash match. Because what was it, 2 moves, and then there was the spinning super kick that he does. Then we had Proud and Powerful Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party. Not the best match from either of them. I don't think they paired well. I don't think they had good chemistry. Wasn't a bad match. I expected more out of both of them, both sides. What was next? I think I missed this segment with Sammy Guevara. I don't remember it.
Wade says Avalon stays getting washed.
Yeah. I get for the time being. I think I'm cool with him doing that. Just being a jobber. Same thing with Orange Cassidy because he hasn't done anything in the ring. Again, I'm not a proponent for Orange Cassidy as an actual wrestler. I'm fine with him as a gimmick. I'm fine with him being the Drake Maverick type or James Ellsworth type. Just be a gimmick. His wrestling should never be taken seriously. If you put him in a match, his job is to get squashed. Get his one quick gimmick move in. But other than that, just squash him.
He says Avalon is their Jack Ryder.
Yes, that's a good comparison. Yes, that is a very good comparison.
Avalon and Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
As X-Men, damn.
Yeah.
But what about Santana and Ortiz versus Private Party?
I was saying I wasn't that big on that match. I expected better from both of them. It didn't grab me the way I thought it would. It wasn't bad. I expected more from those two teams. Then there was Kenny Omega and having a little backstage segment where he was working out, and Michael Nakazawa, aka Mr. Body Oil, was his spotter, and he was just talking about the last couple months, couple weeks between how he's basically he was like he's been out of character. He's trying to do things that aren't with his normal, I guess, repertoire. The whole unsanctioned match against Moxley. And then our main event was Mr. Moxley versus Darby Allin. This match stemmed from Moxley's promo last week after he beat Kenny Omega, saying, I've beaten your best, who nobody else in the locker room wants to face me. And later in the episode, Darby Allin came out and said, challenge accepted. So it was a solid. I'm pleasantly surprised at Darby Allin. I did not expect him to be this charismatic, to be this proficient in the ring. The finishing sequence to the match was he went to do the coffin drop off the turnbuckle, and Moxley spun around, and while he was in the air, he caught Darby Allin into a sleeper hold, and Darby Allin rolled it into a leverage pin. Then they both got up, and he just paradigm shifted him. So it was a really, really decent match, which I did not expect.
Well, Wayne is saying, I'm telling you, at All Out, we will get the dream triple threat between PNP / Lucha Bros / Bucks.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I would not be mad at that. PNP, Lucha, and Bucks. For me to really be wowed by that, they have to slow down on Lucha Bros Young Bucks matches, because there's been 4 of them in 2 months. So they've got to slow down on those. They've got to let it breathe for a little bit and then pick up that rivalry again. 2 months out going into the next time they have All Out, which I forget which is that, May, I believe is All Out. And that was our episode of Dynamite. I can't think of any other news off the top of my head at the moment. Did I save anything before we depart? If you want to buy a stuffed monkey, I have a link for it. I don't know why I was looking at stuffed monkeys, but I was.
Shout out to Dark Stuffed Monkeys. Order yours now. He comes with a Yankees fitted on.
Facts.
Tim boots.
Facts.
And a North Face.
No, I don't have the North Face today. I got the Adidas hoodie.
Oh, the Adidas hoodie.
Yeah.
It's special edition then.
Yeah.
It's the special edition one. Order yours now before Christmas because it's going to get wild. It's going to get wild to get it in.
I also have a link for some Jordan 10 camos.
There you go.
Yeah, yo. If anybody loves me, buy these for me for Christmas.
X-Men Dame says that's kind of racist shit. Is this... What kind of racist shit is this, says X-Men?
If anybody loves me, I want these right here, the Jordan 10 camos.
Oh, that's very Master P and the...
Oh,
No
thank you
Limit
for
Soldiers.
saying that. I did have... Let me find that. Master P bought a wrestling promotion.
He did. He did.
I forgot to mention that last week. Master P has purchased House of Glory Wrestling,
Yep.
which is based here in the New York area.
Now, what I'm most excited about when I heard this was a video game.
A Def Jam Vendetta style video game?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That was what I was the most... When I heard that news, that was what got me the most excited. I want him in there, Soak the Shocker.
Make him say,
Mystical, maybe.
Yeah, Mystical.
Maybe.
Ludacris, DMX.
Ludacris. Yes, put him in there, man. Put him in there.
Method Man, Redman.
That's last month's news. What the jazz, says X-Men. X-Men, then we just remembered now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it like 3 weeks ago when it happened. I
Yeah.
completely forgot.
Yeah, but that's exciting news.
Yeah, it's so random too.
And I think it bridges the gap between hip hop and wrestling a little more.
Yeah.
I think when we have those rappers that admit to liking wrestling, like Wale and I guess Wu-Tang Clan, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
It's kind of, sort of. It leads to some interesting things, prospects like video games and some kind of crossover merchandising or something.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good news for crossovers like that.
Yeah, I was so shocked when I saw that article. I was like, what?
George F, aka Jeff, says West Side Guns. West Side Guns brought part ownership of House of Glory as well.
Yes. But yeah, what a move by Master P.
People forget that Master P is almost on P Diddy's level as far as like entrepreneurship.
Low key, yes, he is.
He owns a college. He owns a couple things. So
ICDC.
he's got
college,
money.
College.
He's got money.
Yeah, he makes a lot of moves in silence. You don't see his stuff on the news like you see.
He's not as much as a character as Diddy is when he does purchases and things like that.
Yeah, because everything Diddy does has to be front page paper.
Exactly. Master P's gonna buy Bravery Studios, says George F. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I'll take a check. I'll wear Army fatigues for the rest of my career if I have to.
Be a no limit soldier.
I'll be a no limit bravery soldier. I mean, I do what I gotta do. Malcolm will be here, be like, every podcast if he has to. Nah, of course.
They call me Ghetto Bill because my seats, they be Gucci. And when I come through, I got 2 and 3 hoochies.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Boom.
So, this has been another episode of Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast. I am Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always on his worst behavior, and lost in the storm like Fortnite. The real X-Man Damn on Instagram. Follow him, fam. And Mr. Alex the Heel, who had a family event tonight.
He had a date.
Yeah, he had a date with wifey, who made an appearance on last week's episode. But